we're back, and let me see here. Let me see if I can, I'm going to try to get better situated here so that it's straight and you're not looking at it all weird. So weird to paint straight. Okay, let me see here if I can zoom you in so you can see the detail. On the moon. Can you see that detail? Let me see here. If I get it to focus. I don't think it's focused here. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. Ah, there we go. There. Okay, so now we'll just get right to painting details on the boat and the water. Let me see here. And I'm going to put the sail shadow in the water. So I'm just going to get some water on my brush. And like the littlest amount of white. A little more water. Just so that, pardon me, so that we can get those, no, too wet. Let me try that again. Just so we can get those sails in the water. And I'm just skimming that, lightly touching it. Very, very little paint. Very watery. Just to get that shadow in the water. That should do it. There. So we're going to give the sails another coat of white paint. And I'm going to go over my gray. A little bit. You'll still be able to see the gray underneath. But it won't be such a stark gray. A little bit there on the moon, that looks a little. We can touch up the sky or the land if we have to. Some more white. Okay. So while it's damp, I'm going to grab some of that blue that we put in the moon. Just to put on that sail in the background. Just to show that it's in shadow. And then we're going to want some on this front part of the sail in sort of an arch. Just like that. can arch it out just a little bit more. Like that. And maybe a little bit on this sail. I'll wipe some of the paint off my brush and just rub it in so that it's got a little bit of a shadow on that sail. And maybe a little bit of that, a little more blue on the bottom. Just tap it with your finger because it's already dry there. There. Oh, no water on it. Pardon me. I'm not sick. Not the corona. Little bit more white. So you don't see through the sails so much. Now it's up to you. You can trace on the lines. You can trace on all these lines and the numbers and things, but I'm just going to freehand them. They are on your traceable, so you can put them on. So I'll just wing it, so mine might not look so wonderful, but again, we're going to wet our liner brush, get some black paint, make it like ink, roll your brush, drag it to drag some of the paint out, bring the brush to a point. Okay, so what we got going here? So we've got the top of the mast. And then we've got a line coming down here. And we've got a line coming down this sail from here somewhere. And then these sails here have sort of just lightly curved lines. They don't have to be totally finished. If they go all the way across. And these ones go like this. Pardon me. Okay, we'll give it a little flag. And then I'll move this out of the way. We've got right here, we got a 6.5. You can use a black micron marker if you don't think you can do this with a brush. And then below that, they've got the 5 backwards. The 6.5 is backwards. It must be showing in through the sail. And then we've got the Z 0.99. And down here we have the 99 backwards with the Z. And then we've got sort of like a little square thing here and here. Must be part of the rigging. And down here we've got some sort of little cubby on the deck of the boat, I think. Okay. Oh, we got some more marks up here. And a mark there, and a mark there. Clean my brush. Take my other round brush. And a little bit of black mixed in with some white to get a gray. And I'm just going to put a little gray on the top of this sail. And a little gray on the top of that one. Maybe darken this up a little bit. I'm just barely touching this. I have a little tiny bit of paint in my brush, barely touching the canvas at all. Just to bring out the shadows here. Maybe a little shadow here. And that's good. We're just going to take our black brush again, to fix up our black land where you see the sky peeking through where we didn't get a good coverage. I'm just going to bring that up a bit. Just to cover in those few places where you can see sky peeking through. In your silhouette. And underneath the moon, I'm going to switch back to my liner brush. This one's bulky. And in the moon, we're just going to straighten it up a bit so it's not so messy. And now that most of the black paint's out of my brush, I'm going to put a bit of a line for the mass. Oops. And maybe just a little bit of a shadow there for the mass. So I get some more black and just touch up our boat. This boat looked a little short. Give it another line. A little water in the brush. Roll the brush to get a point. Define these just a little more. Touch up right here. Even it off a bit where we messed up the line. And then over here, just go along and straighten it up a little bit. I think we are done except for the edge of that moon's messy. Let me just get some white. And I'm just going along the inside and letting the edge of the brush come to the outside. You have more control from that angle than you do trying to go this way to reach the edge. And give it a little bit of highlight here. Whoops. A little bit of highlights. We'll fix that hull just a little bit and put some shadow in the water from it. I think it needs a little bit more of a defined line there. Rinse out the brush. A little bit of black, dry it. Add some black to your brush, dry it off on a rag. Give yourself a little bit of shadow and rub it with your finger. Just a feather touch. Same over here. No, that one's just a little low. I'll just wet it and bring it back up. In a little under this one. And just trying to see if there's anything I missed. A little bit of black spot there. And I would say that we are done. You're just going to take your liner brush in your inky black paint and sign your work. And that's it. We are done. Oh, wait, now just give it a little touch up here. I don't know what that is in the picture, but some part of the boat sail. Oh, I see another spot we can fix up a little bit. And this line needs to come up to there. And just define these a little bit. Take out that one with the damp brush. And I think we're done. Thank you for joining me for my very first painting online. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a hot mess. Let me zoom you out so you can see here. Oh, wrong way. And thanks again. I've really enjoyed painting with you. I hope to paint with you again next week, perhaps. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Until next week. Bye.